I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, welcome back to our after show for the Eddies. We are going into episode 3, Amir, and we have so much to talk about. We have some new backdrops, some new clothes, so you know we are meeting business today. We're going to discuss the funeral, Elliot coming in contact with the stalker guy, and the police officer with the open investigation. We also have some news and a special segment. But before we get into all of that, let me introduce our beautiful panelists, because I could not do this by myself. We have our music enthusiast, Sanaa Moore. Hello.
Hi. This episode was literally, it wasn't too bad. You know, I liked it. But the police officer, I can't wait to get into that.
Girl, me neither. We also have one of our director's biggest fans. He didn't direct this episode, but she knows everything about him. We have Allie James.
Hello, guys. Yeah, excited to get into it.
Yes. So this episode, as we saw from last episode, we kind of discovered that each episode is going to dive into a new character, and we'll going to get a bigger backstory. And honestly, with each episode, I feel like more of our predictions come true. So honestly, I think like we could have written this series, but let's not waste any time. Let's just go ahead and get into it. So first, we have to plan this funeral for Fareed. And it happened so fast, like they are burying him in this episode. The wife wastes no time, and we get to see some of the dynamic. But what was your overall like thoughts when you guys were introduced to this episode? Sanaa, what did you think?
Well, it all kind of gave me like a New Orleans vibe once they switched up the funeral. It reminded me a lot of New Orleans, and it was so lively and so much fun. I really did enjoy it. I know the son really, he stood up. He said, "This is not my papa. This is not him. Let's honor him the right way." So I love that part. And that part made me smile a lot. What about you, Allie?
Yeah, I agree. That was definitely the highlight of this episode for me, was Adam and Maya coming together and kind of planning a real celebration of life, one that Fareed would have wanted for himself. But overall, yeah, the episode was beautiful. It was emotional. It was definitely a change of pace from the last episode that we watched. So, it wasn't as, how do I say that? I feel like last episode, there were a lot of moments that left me wanting more, and a lot of kind of plot twists, and it kept us kind of on a ride. This episode was a little more like you could sit back and just enjoy the music and the friendships, and yeah, but it was beautiful overall, I thought.
Yeah, they definitely was like, last episode we had a lot of drama, but we have to put that on pause because we have to do our friend right. We have to, send Fareed off the right way. So question, just to pick you guys' brain a little bit, how did you feel when we were first introduced to Fareed's parents? I mean, we don't really hear much about them, and seeing their house, we can see the difference in the way that they live. What did you guys think, Allie?
At first, I didn't really, I was just kind of like, okay, those are his parents, cool. Everything seemed pretty normal, besides the fact that you could obviously tell they had not seen their grandchildren and who knows when. They weren't hugging really. It was kind of just like, wow, like you're so grown. So I kind of got the impression they're not super close. So I was a little shocked when the grandma started talking to Amira about like raising Adam. I was a little bit like, whoa, like you just got here. I don't know. So yeah.
Now what were your thoughts?
Same. I totally agree with Allie. And I think it probably has something to do with his past. Maybe his parents know already that he's been in the shady business and he likes to, hang with the gangsters, and they probably already know that, and they probably didn't like that lifestyle. So they decided to kind of like part ways or love him from a distance. So when they were able to see his kids, I think that'll also open another door for them to want to be in his life maybe more. I mean, that's the last you have of him.
Yeah, honestly. And you know what I was thinking? Just based on some other movies that we've seen, music can go like one or two ways in the family. Like the family is either super accepting, or the minute their child picks up an instrument, they are like completely disowned. So I was wondering if it was just like in general his love for music that kind of separated them, because even in the funeral that the parents arranged, there was no like, there really wasn't much of Fareed within there. I mean, besides his culture, but it wasn't really him like we saw in the second like service that they gave. So I was kind of wondering like if that had anything to do with it. But you guys are totally right. Like you can definitely tell the grandparents aren't connected to the grandkids like at all.
Mhm.
So we get to the funeral service, which was beautiful, but then we are also introduced to Amira's brother, who we haven't seen, and we automatically see that there's some tension. What did you guys think the backstory behind that was before it was revealed later in the episode? Like, what did you think of that encounter when they were walking to Sana?
Well, honestly, for me, it was just a lot. It was just a lot to interpret, just all
Mm-hmm.
in all, because we didn't really get to know. I wish we could have known who Fareed was more, so then we could really grasp on why he made the moves that he did, and
Mm-hmm.
why he decided to go into a certain lifestyle. So I feel like it just made me want to know more. Like it didn't give me satisfaction. It made me actually have more questions about him as a character.
So, Allie, what did you think about their dynamic when you saw it?
That's a really good point. I kind of felt this. I kind of wish that they waited like an episode or two to like get us a little bit more connected to Fareed before just
Right,
writing him.
killing him.
Like what? I don't know. And then at the funeral, with Amira's brother, that
Mm-hmm.
dynamic. Yeah. I definitely thought it was going to go into that more. I thought there was going to be some huge background. He did something terrible. They made him sound like he was just this terrible person. But then when we had the moment of Amira with her brother in the kitchen, we learned he didn't really do anything wrong. He wasn't necessarily there for her when Amira was taking care of their parents or whatever. But overall, he's there now. I was happy that she kind of just accepted that he wanted to be in her life again, because who doesn't need more people around that love you and like want to be there? So I don't know. I expected it to be more dramatic. I expected there to be like more there, but yeah, I thought it was fine, and she's letting him in, so that'll be interesting. Maybe we'll learn more
Yeah.
about him though.
Yeah, I definitely want to stay on this topic a little bit and just pick you guys' brain, because as you said, when we were I guess like when it was revealed what actually happened between the two, like you said, it wasn't like this explosive thing. It was just kind of like Amira decided to take care of her parents while her brother, I guess, went on and did his own thing. And I was just kind of curious, do you think there's anything wrong with that? Do you think they should have any animosity towards each other because they both decided to live their own lives? Like, what did you guys think when you heard that? Because I was like, that's all that happened. Like, Allie,
Mhm.
what was your thought?
Um, I think I would understand why she would maybe be a little standoffish with him. She may be a little hurt or upset that she had to kind of go through her parents' death alone. Like that would suck. But I don't think that he deserved like the way she was kicking him out and the way she was talking to him. I kind of felt bad for him at parts. So that's why I was also shocked. I thought he had done something like really, really terrible. So
Yeah. So now,
mm.
did you think that it was a reason for them to really separate, or did you think it was kind of like not that big of a deal?
I think it wasn't that big. I mean, she made it seem like this man stole from her and then
Yeah.
like stabbed her in her arm and like sold her babies for money. Like she made it seem like this man did her dirty. And
True.
just to know that he just wanted to do his own life. And I think that's the important thing, when it comes to loving someone, whether that's romantically or friendship or a family member. It's important to know that at times they're individuals and people will do ultimately what they feel
Mm-hmm.
is best for them. And I think it would have been selfish if he didn't want to pursue his dreams. Because if it was the other way around and she wanted to pursue her dreams and she got the chance to do it, she's going to go do it. I mean, who wouldn't? And not
True.
saying that you leave mama and daddy to the side, but, I think there could have been a workout with this. Like, okay, one day, we take turns on weekends or anything. Like, it could have been something like that. But that's her fault. She didn't communicate that she had dreams, not his.
Exactly. How
agree.
you gonna be mad at
Yes.
him? That wasn't his fault. And now we see that like her brother is the only family that she really has left. So I think that's definitely gonna, well, I don't know, definitely, but I would like to see that relationship kind of grow throughout the series, just since he's been introduced. Like I hope he kind of sticks around, and I hope they don't kill him off like they did for Reed. But I mean, this funeral had a lot going on before we even made it to the happy part. Elliot sees that he finds his stalker, or one of them, and tries to figure out what's going on. Now, I had already saw that the man was following them and taking pictures when him and his daughter were first walking. And I was like, this is creepy. Like in every episode, someone has taken a picture of him and his daughter, and it is the weirdest thing. And at first I wasn't sure if it was because like he was like this old celebrity, like this music phenom. But then I was like, no, I think they just want to like harm him. So that was interesting. But what did you guys think, Allie? What did you think when he actually got in the car with the guy that he got jumped by?
That made me so uncomfortable. I understood him running after the guy. I understood him addressing it because it's, you know, the sake of his daughter and he wants to figure out what's going on. But when he like actually legit got in the vehicle, I was like, oh no, what are you doing? I thought he was going to drive away with him. I had no idea what was about to go down. But that whole scene was very interesting. So now we're supposed to believe that that guy wasn't the one who killed Fareed. But do you guys still think it is him?
I don't know. I was actually going to ask Sanaa, because not only did he try to like convince him that he wasn't the killer, but he also gave him a whole nother person to tell the police was the actual killer, like an address, a picture. I mean, he gave him all the details. So now, what did you think about that? Like, do you think what do you think Elliot should do in that situation?
First of all, I know it's not Elliot's character, but he should have beat him up. He should have really beat that man up, because you jumped me. Like, you jumped me in the dark outside my club that I own. You embarrassed me, but I know that's not his character. So, you know,
I'm like, don't get in the car, run. And you're like,
yeah, I was like, please don't get in this car.
Beat him up. But I think he actually, maybe he didn't do it, because there's some people out here who will say like, you know, I'll cheat or I'll lie and I'll steal, but I'll never steal from, like, you know, they have their limits off of, you know, what's off limits. So, and, you know, he said like, I don't kill, like, that's not my thing. Like, I'll beat you up, but I'm not going to kill you. So I think he knows who did it. Like, he knows who really did it. And so he's like, instead, you know, he's close to that guy, or he doesn't want to die, because if he, you know, tells, they know it'll direct back to him. I hope everybody's following with all this.
I know.
So it's kind of like he's giving him a distraction. It's like, here, this is who you're going to blame for this. So then we can just like move on from this. This is who the fall guy is going to be. So I don't think he did. I don't think it was him. I think it was someone else, but he knows who that person is. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think, especially when he said the guy that he gave him to turn in was already like paid off, like he was already okay with taking the blame for this murder. I was like, well, then what's really the issue here? It's a win-win for everybody. If he's okay with it, because, you know, like Elliot's big concern was like, what about this guy? Like, I don't want to ruin his future, but he already agreed to ruin his future. So like, are we really ruining it? No, we're not. Especially when somebody has like, these people are following you. They know what school your child goes to. They were already following you when you picked her up from the airport. They have pictures. They are always around. Like, I know it's not in his character, and I'm not saying it's in mine, but at some point you have to start thinking like, how am I going to protect myself and my family? Because sometimes it's not really all about doing what's right. It's just not. But
so, Toree, you believe he should beat him up?
Basically, honestly, I was like, just take the picture of the guy, tell the police what he just told you, because I mean, the police isn't listening to him anyway. He's been trying to tell the truth, and every time he goes to tell the truth, they try to blame him, which brings me to my next point. You guys, what this whole investigation and the club and the killing of Fareed, I mean, we all know that it wasn't Elliot. I was going to say, we all know it wasn't Ghost. We all knew it wasn't Elliot, but the police are like really trying to paint this picture Allie, what do you think is going to happen? Like, what exactly do you think the police is going to do with this information?
I just feel like they've been against him from the very beginning. Um, and the cop made the one point about somebody else who she trusted, and then the guy who killed his wife or something, and she trusted him, and then he ended up being the guy who did it. So I feel like she is at a place where she isn't willing to really trust anyone. I think she just wants the facts and the proof. I want the facts and the proof. I don't know what's going on, and I want to know soon. I am just like, I'm tired of getting stressed over if he's going to jail over something that I don't even know what's going on. Like, I want to know what Faree got into. So I really hope next episode we finally find out, because it's tiring.
I mean, the club is already closed. They think that
Yeah.
he killed him. So now, do you think that they are going to open this club back up? Do you think they're just going to pin all this information on Elliot? Like, are we going to get justice at all?
Well, I think they might open that club back up. I think he's going to be able to finagle on some money ends or something and be able to open the club up, because the detective lady, first of all, she's really bothering me. First of all,
Same.
you know, she's a Black woman and he's a Black man. So you're just going to throw your people under the bus like that, sis?
Exactly.
That's what really got me. And second of all, why are you going around? If you're so, like Ali said, she's all about the facts. That's what she wants. But sis, you're not giving facts. You're giving fiction.
Yeah.
And that's your problem. That's your problem. And
Hello?
you're not going to get there. You're not going to get there. Okay? You're going to end
At
up
all.
putting the wrong person. And then what gets me at the end is she thinks she's trying to be like, you know, like she's giving him a hint saying like, oh, they closed your club down. Like,
Duh.
girl,
I can't get in. Clearly, they closed it down.
like you're
Ain't
not
none of us
giving
performing.
anything new.
Like, what? She was really killing me. And I like what you said, because she's definitely playing into the, like, guilty until proven innocent and not innocent until proven guilty. Like, she already has written him off. She thinks that he did it. My thing is, like, when she compared him to the husband that killed his wife, okay, that might have happened. He might have had y'all fooled. But Elliot is literally bringing all the facts to you.
Yeah.
It's not just his word of mouth. Like, he has provided anything that he possibly can. Every time he gets into a situation, he comes to you guys first. Like, what else do you guys want him to do? I'm pretty sure the other guy that you're comparing him to wasn't bringing you all the evidence to your front door, and that's why you believed him. So I'm kind of confused as to why she did that. A part of me just feels like she's just trying to pick his brain and trying to see if he's going to crack. But I feel like this tactic is tired. It's just it's tired.
How you gonna crack an egg that has no yolk? First of all,
like that.
Thank you. That's straight off the dome, Allie. That was straight off the dome. That was straight off the dome. And it was like, you know, when it came to, my thing is, you didn't even let him call his daughter to make sure the daughter was okay. Like, you kept his phone, and then you want to like keep it like holding it in your hand. That really made me upset. And now you're trying to blame him and like using another case for his thing. Like, girl, it's not the same.
On top of the fact that, like, she hasn't spoken to anyone else. She hasn't spoken to Amira. She hasn't spoken to the family to try to actually figure out, like, she's pulling this motive out of her own head. Like, it's not like Amira was like, well, I saw Elliot leaving. Like, she has nothing to pull this from. So it's like, what in the world is happening?
Yeah, like, he's cooperating. Like you said, he's showing up. He's giving her the facts. He's helping. He wants to find out, like, or he wants justice for his friend. And then instead they take away his club. They don't let him call his daughter. Like, this is just not fair. And she's not questioning him. She's just kind of like judging and making accusations in her head, but she's not actually, you know, putting the flashlight on him and questioning him. If she actually thinks he did it, then I would like to see her, like, actually question or do something, but instead they just sit there and don't do anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
and
annoying.
To wrap up this funeral, we have like a beautiful celebration at Amira's house that is really in Faree's fashion. It is not the whole like, let's just be quiet and eat these hors d'oeuvres. They had a full-on celebration, live music, everyone is singing. What was it like seeing this alternative reception or funeral celebration on the screen, Sanaa?
It was fun. And then my girl Julie, you know, she got a little camera time in this episode. And I feel that she finally realized how bad she kind of feels for acting out. She tried to give $100 to Sim. He's like, I don't want it. You can't keep it. Keep it.
Yeah, Sims is not here for
Keep
it. He's
it.
like, I don't want to change.
Cause she acted like a straight butt. Like she was acting like a straight butt the entire time. The coke in the streets, you know, yelling out cocaine in the streets at 2 a.m. You got your daddy putting me, choking me out. I mean, it's just too much. And so $100 or how much ever it was, he's like, that's not gonna buy me. And you know, even from there, I think that's the moment when she felt bad, where she felt like, dang, maybe I did, you know, treat everybody kind of bad. And then when she started dancing, I was like, okay, everybody started dancing. I was like, now this is getting better.
Yeah.
Right. Allie, what did you think about the celebration?
Same thing with going back to Julie. I liked that she apologized. I saw that she really kind of regretted her actions. I still think we're going to see her have a couple more moments similar to last episode, but I like that she apologized. But I like more that Sim didn't really accept it, and he was still kind of just like, no, because yeah, that's how life is sometimes. Like you can't just always say sorry and everything's okay. As for the celebration itself, that was beautiful. I loved the music. I loved all of it. I loved the speeches. Yeah, I don't know. It was a fun time.
It was. I think it was a nice way to honor Fareed, even though we didn't know him for long. It was still nice to see him go out in his true fashion. But on a brighter note, we do have a special segment with Allie James. Please take it away.
Okay, so for our Moonlight moment, just curious what part of this episode had you guys kind of shocked, or what made you a little bit uncomfortable? I know last episode we all like listed off a couple things, but this episode was a little more difficult. I'm trying to think what mine I was a little uncomfortable, like we talked about when Elliot got into the car. I was just like, oh no, my inner, like, I don't know, I was panicking. I was like, something bad's gonna happen. What is he doing? But overall, I didn't think that this episode had a lot of shock value. It was just kind of like, it was what it was. But I'm curious if you guys had any moments that stuck out to you.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot that like had my jaw on the ground, but making me uncomfortable was definitely when he went back to the police officer and she still wasn't buying it. Like he went almost immediately after that whole altercation and she was still basically not believing anything that he said. So I was kind of like, what more do you want? Like he is really trying, and I think we all see it because it's like, do you want us to trust the police and like let them handle it, or do you not want us to do that? Because I'm not trying to go to jail for something I didn't do. But no. I think that was the most like uncomfortable part of the show.
He lost his friend and his club in like the same 24 hours. Like I just feel so bad for Elliot.
Oh. I know. It's like the whole I don't know if you guys remember, but Tyrese, when he's like, what more do you want from me? That's how I've been feeling this whole way for Elliot. Because I don't know. Like, what else do you want? Like, what do you want from me?
Is driving me crazy because I don't know what more information she wants. Like, you've literally almost taken everything away from him. He has nothing to lose by lying. Like,
I'm telling you, this is a fancier version of power. Like, she's literally, you know, the cop who always, the curly-headed Latina cop. This is her. Like, I'm telling you, this is definitely a parallel with Power. I'm ready to argue that down.
I have to watch Power.
You are?
Yes,
I have to watch it.
This is a
watch it.
Wow. Okay, I will. I'm excited. Adding it to my list.
And moving on from our special segment, we also have some news with Sanaa.
Yes. Okay. So, guys, Joanne, please forgive me if I say her name wrong, but Joanna Cooling auditioned for her role while being 9 months preggers. Okay.
Mm.
In fact, came to read for the role of her due date, and she got the part. So that's according to IMDb, and so that's awesome. And you guys also know her. She plays Maja, so that's who she is. So that's pretty cool.
That's
amazing.
Really cool.
Wow.
I don't know if I'll be anywhere on my due date besides the hospital. So
Right.
kudos to her. Because I'm like, y'all, can we do this via Zoom? Like, is there
Right.
a way we can do this? But
so true.
moving on into our predictions, what do you guys? Okay, this is episode 3. We wrapped up. I think there's only like 8 episodes in the season, so we're inching our way. The next one will be our halfway mark. What do you guys think is going to happen for the rest of the series? Allie, what are your predictions?
I do think we're going to see a lot more of the cop being terrible to Elliot. Unfortunately, I do feel like the band's going to come together, maybe do some fundraising or something and try to get the club back up and running. I think we're going to see Julie kind of fight for Sim, maybe. I'm just going to throw that out there. Sure. And yeah, Elliot dealing with the cops still, but overall, I think the club is going to like bring them all together and give them the hope and like the power to fight for justice because he didn't do it.
So now, what do you think?
I think Elliot is going to get his club back somehow, some way, and I think that he's not going to give that photo to the police saying that that guy did it. I think he's going to probably find out himself who did it.
I could see that. I can see that. A part of me feels like Elliot might end up in jail, like originally. Like I feel like they might just go ahead, lock him up. And then like the rest of them are going to take the investigation into their hands to get Elliot out of jail. Because it just seems like the police officer is just not letting up. Like no matter if Jesus himself dropped down in front of her and is like, he did not do it, she probably still wouldn't believe him. So I think that like they're going to do that, and then somehow like the band is going to figure out what actually happened and actually start like investigating in the club and trying to figure out what happened. But I don't know. Something about that seems unrealistic too. I don't know. This show just you never know where they're going to go with it. Like, I don't know. The only person that's consistent is the police officer. She's the only one that's predictable. But we'll definitely see. And we are back here at 9. So maybe we'll have some answers to our theories. But before that, Allie, please tell all of our listeners where they can find you on social media.
Yes, you guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Alexandra James.
So now where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at IAM_SANA_ and on Twitter, IAM_SANA.
Yes, and you guys should also check out her articles because she writes some great bomb articles for AfterBuzz. So y'all should definitely read those if you have some free time. There's always if there's a topic you want to know about, she probably wrote about it already. Just go ahead.
Yes, amazing.
But you guys can find me on social media. You can find me on Instagram at Toxic Model or on Twitter with Toree with 2 E's. We are also part of some other panels. So if you have some time before we come back at 9, go ahead and click around the YouTube, find something that you're interested in. Go ahead and watch it. Tell us what you think in the comments. We're back here, like I said, at 9 to talk about episode 4. And until then, we will buzz you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.